Welcome back. Which is darker, the top set of lines or the bottom set of lines? Well, it's the bottom set of lines, right? The bottom set of lines are darker because the lines themselves are thicker and they're close together compared to these thinner lines. So it's another important consideration when you're inking. The bigger the brush and the closer the lines, the more we get a sense of something being dark versus making the brush really, really small. And this almost looks like it's a very light value of gray. So we can convey value through our brush size and also the placement of our lines. For example, if I have several thin lines that are spread much, much further apart, compared to those same lines placed really close together, what is lighter? Well, this is lighter because there's a lot of white space in between. This is a little bit darker because we have more lines that are in close proximity to one another. So that's something that you really want to keep in mind as you ink. What is the value that you're trying to convey? And value can have something to do with, if you're thinking about a light source and where the light is coming from, obviously the areas that are receiving direct light might be white, but then as that light tends to spill off and start turning into core shadows, it might start to take on a darker value. So you might go from something like this. It's not uncommon to say, all right, here is something that's super light, and then as we get further darker, we start to see darker and darker, bigger and bigger brushes. So you can now start to see that we're going from very light to very dark, not only by the distance between our lines, but also the thickness of our lines. That plays a huge role in determining whether something is appearing as light or dark. And if you look at a wide body of comic artists, you'll definitely see how hair is depicted in that way. Blonde hair is typically conveyed in a much, like if this is just like a representation of hair, you might see a few lines that convey the idea of hair. But that same hair, if I use a similar shape, if I want to convey that hair being dark, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and I can either fill this in, or if I want it to be dark but not quite so dark, I can go ahead and do something like that, and that conveys the idea of darker hair. So anyway, hope you found this video to be useful. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.